Jim Davis had made love to a monster truck in the pouring rain. A bolt of lightning came down from heaven and struck him directly in the perineum, and then out of his brain hole emerged Garfield.
It's summertime, baby, and Garfield is hot and ready to go. Come join us as we explore these three panels like the spider-eating lasagna-loving characters that they are, brother.
This is Mystic Lasagna. Oh, man. Yeah, baby, you got the whole pan, but you're only going to need the crusty edges.
That's right, baby. Ooh, we got the whole pan. I want to dive in there and swim around in it.
Oh, man. Welcome to Mystic Lasagna, friends. We're back. We're streaming. We might be streaming to just ourselves for a little while. We're getting back into the show. We're going to see if,
in the swing of it.
Back in the swing of things. It is, as you may see from the title here, the cat days of summer.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
It's getting hot. It's getting long. You got to watch your tail. There's rocking chairs everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You do have to watch out for rocking chairs if you have a tail. Yeah, I gotta say, there's a lot of sunlight. That's my hot take.
It just
Summertime,
keeps happening, man. The sun's just like
sun.
It is a weird time of the year when the sun willfully refuses to go down when it's like 9 o'clock and I'm tired. It's nighttime, son. What's your problem?
It's sleep time.
Yeah.
As everybody knows, deep fans know, I always go to sleep at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And I wake up. Yeah.
Sarah comes in and puts your little hood on and you go to sleep.
Exactly. I need to be up early so that I can study my Fat Cat 3-packs, so I can watch, kind of old Garfield cartoons just to kind of keep myself sharp.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you're doing the reps and putting the work in. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's really
the
good.
Same thing as working out. It's the same thing as waking up early at like 5 a.m. to go on a nice swim, a nice a morning run. It's the same exact thing as reading a Garfield 3-pack.
Yeah. Some people get up, do sun salutations and some morning yoga. Me, I get up and I say the Garfield Rosary, which is our Garfield, who art in lasagna, hallowed be thy scarfage.
Yeah.
Thy Odie go away.
Yeah.
Normal don't want to play.
Sure.
Get thee the fuck to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Forgive us, our John, as we forgive those who John against us.
Yeah, and they do.
And they do. But I say that like, and that is the pasta and the layers and the sauce forever and ever, Garfield. And I just do that with as I eat an entire pan of lasagna. That's my rosary every morning. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Great breakfast. You don't need to eat lunch.
No, you don't need to eat lunch because you're dead.
Yeah.
Because you had a heart attack and died in the
stopped.
morning, man. Oh, bro. I mean, we're here, dude. You're right. It's like the solstice has happened. We're in the long part of the year. It's cancer season. Like we are in the long, hot, agitated part of the fucking year.
Yeah,
where you can just get stuff done, right? There's so much light, and as cosmically the stars are like, all right, get to work.
Yeah, get out there and party. I feel like generally a lot of folks that I've been encountering, on the street in the neighborhood, you give the classic "How's it going?" You give a "What's going on?" Hey, how you doing? And a lot of times the answer, yo homie. A lot of times the answer is, I'm busy. I'm really busy. Like a lot of freelancers right now over in Bushwick are just knitting. Yeah. Knitting and engraving and doing niche, artisan work for a lot of people right now.
I was in rehearsals last week with someone who I just looked over and they were embroidering denim. People's jeans. They were just putting butterflies on patches it was 1994. Just putting embroidered butterflies on back pockets. Except the difference now is that we've 23-year-olds are walking around looking like they walked out of a Delia's catalog, right? Everybody sort of looks like a sentient Claire's, but it's all bespoke. So I love that.
Yeah. It's
Like
handmade.
your
It's
your
Etsy.
choker necklace and your butterfly clips came from like somebody who lives down the street that you know.
That is actually kind of badass. Yeah, that's very true. It's not like yeah, the throwback like 90s grunge, you've like knitted your flannel that you're tying around your waist.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real. Whereas
Yeah.
before it was just like I mean, I do think that grunge was perpetrated by Big Bean. It was just a
Sure.
LL Bean's play to like see how many flannels they could get. They're like,
Oh my
we're not
gosh.
selling any flannels in Oklahoma because it's really hot.
Yeah.
What if we
Yeah.
can get the kids to tie them around their waists? And they were like, hey, Mr. Cobain, how much money to blow your head off? And he was like, I'll do it for free. I fucking hate myself.
Yeah. Yeah, watch this. Yeah, that's true. It was a boardroom. Totally. Yeah, that was the last conversation.
It's just sort of joyful, like, watch this.
Yeah. Here we go. Freaking love flannel. I'll do it.
Oh man, yeah, dude. I gotta get the kids into these combat boots. Oh man. Well, very clearly, friends, if you're watching, you can see by our fun chirons that you're watching Mystic Lasagna, and that this is, of course, a Garfield podcast. And not just any Garfield podcast, a psychic Garfield podcast, where Paul and I plumb the mysteries of the universe using as the most potent orange oracle the Garfield comic strip written by
Preach.
Jim
Oh,
Davis.
there it is. Jim.
What's not to love?
Jim is the conduit. He was sent down to all this information. His eyes rolled into the back of his head, and he printed out all these Garfield comic strips for all these years for us to explore and enjoy.
Yeah. So before we scroll down, we'll get a little wink from the mighty face of Go here. Wink. Thanks, buddy. Wink. Wink. Wink.
Beautiful.
It's my favorite thing that happens on the whole internet. Wink.
It's incredible. I like that code was written for that, and then people were like, we have to keep this. It's a whimsical website with hilarious comics.
Yeah.
If we're not slightly whimsical, what are we even doing here, guys?
Well, why are you doing here?
Why are we even at GoComics?
If we're not whimsical, then ack.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. What do you think, man? What do you think? Can we get maybe some sort of grounding ritual before we head into a comic? Oh, I do have to click on it, don't I? How about that shit?
Yeah, I feel like the grounding ritual. I feel like we should think about, like, I mean, I feel like the sun should be our focus here. You know, it's Monday. We're ending Sunday.
It is nice that we do get in a transitional period between like the sun.
Nice.
We were talking about the sun and the light. We do it on Monday. I guess I've never thought about that. Like the day that Garfield like doesn't want to interact with is the Moon's Day.
Yeah,
which is things get spooky and weird and self-reflective, and so like Garfield. Garfield, I think, being a Zen master that like sort of effortlessly just exists, right? And he's so temporary and so permanent and so empty and like so Zen,
so ready to receive.
And he's like, I don't need to get weird and spooky and spoopy. Like, yeah, like I don't like the Moon's Day. Get out of here. But we love the Moon's Day before we love looking at Garfield. We do. We love the Moon's Day. We also, I feel like a nice grounding thing might be just to remember that we are just flying through space. That's kind of fun, right? Celestial beings are influencing us right now, and the moons and suns and are Jupiter's return, all that good stuff. You know, we are the aliens. We're flying around on spaceship Earth. What? Somewhere out there, there's people that are wondering if there's life out there, and we're that life. Oh my gosh, is this the X-Files right now? Because I'm about ready to solve some files. Hey, Paul, do you want to believe? Let's randomize it. Random comic. Wow. Yeah, I want to believe. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, wow, Alex. I gotta say, we're filming this Monday morning, as Garfield would appreciate.
I think we might feel a little bit like John right
I,
now.
I
We're
think
not
my
quite at
I think
100%.
my energy has just infiltrated our comic.
I'm with you as well.
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
our collective metaphorical stubble.
I like that we do have
Our
Mystic
5 o'clock
Lasagna
shadow.
Ombre in the back of this comic. It was nice of them to
Oh,
include our color scheme. Uh,
wow.
May the 3rd, 1999. That was very kind of them to do that. Oh man, John
Dang.
looks like a bucket of shit. Look at him. Oh my
Not
god, the
good.
hair. He's his one pair of pajamas always that he has is doing its thing. So good for you, John.
I love that slouch too, where he's just like being led by his head,
So chin forward, right? He
all
just
of it.
sticks his chin out there for the universe to just tee off on.
Yeah, those upper chakras are just like wrecked, but it's the only thing that keeps the rest of his body moving.
Just walking around with his
Just
mug
wrecked.
out, like, and his mouth too has got the like. He's like trying to like kiss the universe like he'd kiss his grandma.
Oh man. Do you know your worst morning? Your like worst hangover morning?
I mean, do I remember it? Yes.
Or that too. Yeah.
Remember,
I
I just like do I you just saying like in general, do I just know? Is there like a
like, do you have a top where you're like, nothing
this
is
is it?
working? I might die.
Oh
I
yeah.
might
I
die.
mean, yeah, absolutely. I have 100%, you know, yeah, like been unable to work. I've been unable to move.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been so hungover I simply could not function. I too many years of the
Yeah.
service industry, right? Where you just have to get up and head to that
Training.
brunch shift and you just
Yeah.
puke in the bathroom and then like just like rinse your mouth out and then run pancakes to table 12 because that
Oh
bitch
yeah.
will not shut up. Yeah.
I
So
yeah, you get used to it. There's training involved. I remember after Super Bowl, and we like hosted the Super Bowl party, tons of people in the apartment. This was like early New York. I was living with a bunch of folks, and we made like super hot wings, right?
no.
Like homemade hot wings with like peppers and like chili oil, and
Sure. Just
it was just
everything hot you could find. It's just
oh
like a
yeah.
heat melange.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was like it like caused allergic reactions with some of our friends. Like it was rough. And I thought in my infinite wisdom in my early 20s, I was like, you know what I need if I'm eating these hot wings? I got to balance that out with some dairy. I'm going to have white Russians, and that's going to be my drink of the night.
Oh
So I was
no.
just housing spicy wings and just pounding white Russians. And I was up
I mean,
working in
that's
this.
almost mole, but not
Oh,
quite.
yeah. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. It just mixed it to a giant mole belly. It was rough. And the next day I was up at 5:30 to work the 6 a.m. Shift, I was
Yeah.
I was there, and it was one of those things where I was like simultaneously falling asleep while standing up. Like I couldn't keep my eyes open, and I felt like shit.
Yeah.
Like chicken wings and dairy, like heavy cream and chicken wings. It was rough.
Those have always been still
It's
drunk
rough.
morning. I can't believe it stayed inside of you like that. I can't like maybe the heavy cream was like, I mean, you might have insanely been right, right? Your
I
plan
don't
might have
know.
worked,
I
right?
don't know. I felt like I was gonna
Oh,
die.
I'm sure you did, but like you might have actually died if you hadn't had the cream.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yes.
God. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, John looks, I imagine, John looks like he just ate 40 hot wings and tried to do the Big Lebowski White Russian challenge. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
looks terrible.
It was
He's
yeah.
also doing the thing where, and I love this, and we pay attention to like movement, like lines and like currents a lot
We
in
love
these,
it. We
and
love
there's
lines.
no energy coming out of his cup at all. That is the cup is
Absolutely
doing
none.
nothing. Like he's got a mug and he's got like if you're like sacred ritual right in the morning, as so many people is like coffee. There has to be power in the cup, and this does not look like a cup that has had any power put into it, right? Like
Got a little
the
power
the
right here.
getting the fetching of the beans from the cabinet, the opening of the bag, the scent wafts and hits you, and that's when you begin to wake up and you begin to feel the like healing,
Yes,
revitalizing
Alex,
energy of your
preach.
daily ritual, right?
Mm,
None
that's
of that
right.
has happened. None of that
No.
has happened. John went and found yesterday's fucking coffee. This
Yeah,
cup is
it's
yesterday's
cold.
sludge that he just was like, "Bleh."
Yeah,
Just-
it's cold, it's bad. Yeah, he is in stark contrast with the color of the cup, the color of the infinity table, and the sunrise that is behind him. Like
yeah,
these are all there to illustrate that John is like he's a shadow of himself.
yeah. No,
He is a walking
he is
darkness.
bare. Yes, yes, a walking darkness, a blight upon the earth is John Arbuckle in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
And enter Garfield, so dramatic. And Dramatis is like, we need a name for
I
this
know.
maneuver. His like, is it like it's like a starlet swoon, right? When he's got like a full
Yeah,
hand to his head, like
he is.
I
He's looking
can't
for a
go
fainting
on.
couch for
Yes,
sure.
yeah, he's got the fucking vapors.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got his hand out, stretched. He's entering like is doing a very Shakespearean entrance as well, you know,
100%.
in media res.
I mean, we're both trained Shakespearean actors. That John is the like, oh, for a muse of fire level. It's John.
Yes. Yes.
John, I just
You
had
must
a
listen.
horrible nightmare. John, I just had a horrible nightmare. Yeah,
Nightmare.
that's iambic pentameter.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Garf.
Yeah.
Look at you, old boy.
Garfield enters speaking in verse.
My
Oh
gosh.
man. And God, I love that too. There's something about a
Fucking
nightmare that
vapors,
like throws you
baby.
into that, right? Something about like the mental state when you're a nightmare that like you wake up out of it and you're immediately carrying that energy. Unlike a good dream which like sort of like lifts you, right? Like
Yeah.
billowy cloud sort of like lifts you out of your slumber and you're like, "Oh." And you like get to think that it was real for like a minute and
Yeah.
then you're like, "Oh, it wasn't." But how nice.
Exactly.
As opposed to like you ever just I woke up like pissed off at like I think my boss the other day because he was a dick in my dreams. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something like that. He just abruptly woke up and was grumpy and mad. It just like flings you into such a different energy.
Yeah, it really does. I that like the mood of a nightmare too. Even the mood of just like a weird dream that it lasts. It lasts longer than being like, "Oh man, I didn't win the lottery. Oh well, how
Sure.
nice if I had." You know?
It's my hair's back for me all the time. There's 2 minutes where I'm
Yes,
like
that's the one. It's just blowing in the
enjoying my
wind.
flowing locks, and then I'm like, ah, fuck,
Ah, shit.
reality.
Age, time, the earth
Nope.
spinning.
Nope, it's not back.
Yeah, but like even if it's like whoa, those gorillas were actually like running the restaurant and they wanted to eat people. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well, I guess I'll have coffee and try and shake this off.
Right, it sticks with you.
Yikes.
You're right. Yes, you need a sort of
Yeah.
banishing ritual. A dream is sustaining, like they're
Yeah.
nice and they wake up, but a nightmare, you need that morning ritual. You need a banishing ritual in the morning to like bring
Yeah.
reality back. And
Yeah.
like this ain't it. It's just like if you walk in the second panel, we see Garfield observe fully the nega John that
Yeah,
is
the nigga John.
the opposite
Which,
of a
yeah,
human.
beautiful. Oh
God,
my
I love that
God.
he's just not moving either. I love that, or maybe he did go through the ritual of the coffee, and he hasn't even had the like power to like lift it to his lips, and he's just
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. He just knows this
nothing's
is what he needs
working.
to do.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
got up and did it, but he's just like he can't complete it.
yeah. Yeah. Do you think he's stuck in a nightmare right now? Do you think John is hungover? Do you think John what's going on?
I mean, we get very
energy
like
is
don't
behind
even
this?
talk
Could
to
be
me till I've
anything.
had my coffee, right? Vibes from
Yeah.
both John and Garfield. That's like a Garfield staple is that like can't function without caffeine. Like need morning pick me up
Need
very badly.
substance. Yeah. Need
Yeah.
lasagna. Need
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
bed,
absolutely.
rocks.
Like the looking at Garfield ritualistically, the sacrament is super important,
For
and
sure. For
all
sure.
at all
Yeah.
times, right? Like they need, you've got
Yeah.
to have
Lasagna
coffee
stay.
in the morning, you've got to have lasagna in the evening, uh, lasagna at supper time.
There it is. Coffee in the morning, lasagna in the evening, lasagna at supper time.
When Garfield's on a bagel, you can eat Garfield anytime, and yeah, and like I don't think he's completed it. This is what we were talking about. Like this is the like when you wake up and it's the morning death. There is something that is stopping him. He's got a blockage that has stopped him from like even getting to the like lifting the cup. He made it, he did it, he got it, he's there, but he's like, I can't push through, right? And
Yeah.
Garfield just sees that, and like when you see that, it's bleak, right? When you run into like a
It's dark
person or a
stuff.
place or like any energy that you're like, it can't keep going. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
It was like people walking in. It was every customer that morning after the Super Bowl, just seeing me standing behind the register trying to make coffee for them.
Well, and you become
They were
that
like,
block
"Whoa,
for them too, right? You can become that. Yeah, they were looking at a negative Paul.
I was like, hello, everybody. And they're like, oh, geez. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I bet they could smell it on you, man. Like
Yeah. They're
they
like,
are just
oh, is
getting it.
that spice and milk?
Yeah. You get hit that
Yeah, it
energy, they
is.
come in,
It's the yin and yang
I've
thing.
gotta have my coffee. And then they're like, oh Jesus, look at this thing.
Whoa. Yeah. What the hell? Negapol? What just happened? You're the darkness. You are the shadow of yourself.
Yeah. And they're like, do you believe in a thing called love? Just listen to the rhythm of your heart. You're
Yeah.
the darkness.
Yeah.
Uh
And then I blew my voice out and couldn't tour for 2 years.
oh well. Shouldn't have gone so hard. Oh man, I just like that's that moment, like when you get hit with those people, that thing. That happens all the time. I like it happens all the time. I think in that scenario, right? We run into these people in like a like a transaction or retail,
Sure.
or like
Sure.
you
Sure.
like, all right, I need to purchase this book, and like the gatekeeper is right there, but the gatekeeper at this fucking Barnes and Noble looks like he wants to die.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
so pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Hates Barnes. He wants to burn the whole Noble family to the ground. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Oh, Barnes.
Yeah, man. I bought a book at the Barnes and Noble in Union Square like 2 weeks ago,
Oh,
and
very
it was
nice.
in the middle of I was walking through an enormous Pride event. Like I just came up out of the subway and there was just a huge Pride event going on, and I was like,
Awesome.
oh, not prepared. Oh my God. Oh, holy shit. And I was like, my whole plan was to go buy this book and then to sit quietly somewhere. The universe was like, nope.
No.
But
Did you have to hide in the aisles of Barnes and Noble and be like, oh, I'm just looking at this book here, and then you're really just sitting and reading it?
yeah, basically
best.
Frank Weiler style. I just fucking
Perfect.
I climbed behind a book and
Ah,
and
cool.
made a
Hell
little
yeah.
camp and just stayed there.
Yeah, there's always a reading hole at every Barnes and Noble. People don't know that.
Yeah, you got to look for them. You got to find
Yeah.
them. They're secret.
You
Shh.
got to pull out the right book, and then you're in the reading hole
Yeah, you got to
now.
crawl
And
up.
you are in the reading hole now, boy.
Welcome to the reading hole.
Hey,
Get
right
you
this
some
way.
knowledge. But the guy that rang me up for this book just looked like he'd
Sure.
been like, he looked like people had been like fucking in the like stacks, you know what I mean? Like all day. Like it was one of those things where like, because it was the closest bathroom to this like rowdy Pride event too.
Yeah. Oh my
And like,
gosh.
yeah.
Sure.
And there
Yeah,
was a
okay.
cafe
I
and there was
see
the bar,
now.
you know what I mean? There's
Yep.
the big Starbucks up there. It was just looked like the world had been spilling in there in a way that like none of them were stoked about.
Oh, and I feel like that's like a unique New York. I feel like that's uniquely only in New York. Am I right? But it's so true though, because especially with the public bathroom thing and walking in somewhere and you ask and they're like, this is maybe 1,000 times this week that someone has asked. I went to the
Are you
Zuccotti Park
also going to do
Starbucks.
heroin in it and
Yeah.
shit everywhere? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. During Occupy Wall Street, I went to the Starbucks at Zuccotti Park, just walking through. I was just like on my way and I was like, "Hey, can I use the bathroom?" And they were like, "Please Please don't use the bathroom. Please. You
Starbucks,
don't want to go there. You don't want to
Starbucks
go in
barista
there.
in the middle of Occupy Wall Street
That's
is
what I
is up
encountered.
there with like fucking Civil War,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
medic. That's I can't think of a shittier job.
Yeah.
Just
Just
surrounded
the
by people who
worst.
fucking you. What's up? Can I use your bathroom? You corpo bootlicking pig fucker.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
well,
Yeah.
no, you
Are you not
fucking
making
suck,
bathrooms
dude.
available to everyone?
Also, let me get a croissant. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Also, where did your ham and cheese croissant go?
yeah, God.
You're still carrying it.
Holy shit. God, I just can't. Like, just
It was rough.
weeks of you just trying to go to work. Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man. Well, and then you're confronted with this thing, and like, boy, I mean, it's a whole like panel of confront. Like, you never,
Yeah.
so you have a
Garfield,
choice, right? You have a
John.
decision anytime you like are confronted with like that level of emptiness and
Yeah.
negative.
And here in the strip, it's the emotional panel, right?
Mhm.
Garfield is like, oh wow, empathy.
Yeah.
John is like death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Destruction, depression.
Yeah.
All the negatives.
And the resolution in the third panel is absolutely, I mean, what we get to is, I think what it looks like is understanding.
Sure.
Garfield like barrels us, his lids drop. He's not dramatic anymore. He's gone back to a really neutral sort of attitude. And he just says, although it wasn't nearly as bad as this. Like,
yeah. I love how the joke here is just introducing Shadow John and then just like breaking him down even more. And the joke itself is like, this is worse than my actual nightmares. Yeah. It's just so.
Yeah. I mean,
so
it is.
great.
I mean, when you run into somebody who's like lost the ability to function as a human, that's horrible. It is worse than a nightmare. Like, it is, you know, you run into just people that are having such a hard time, and it's tough to have empathy for. It's hard when you live in a big motherfucking place. To have that level of empathy constantly. It's easy if it's just your kitchen and the only person you talk to is a John.
Sure. And but even then it's important to like, even if it is a smaller like relational world, it's important to know that everybody is on a different plane. Everyone is on different levels of caffeine, you know. Everybody
Yes.
is like dealing and coping, and
we all have a certain number of hot wings and White Russians inside of us at all times.
Yeah,
sometimes it's zero, right?
Yeah, sometimes
a lot of times
it's zero.
Any of that shit. Yeah, a lot of the time I have no hot wings and no White Russians. Yeah. Sometimes shitloads of hot wings, no White Russians. That's a whole other thing. Sometimes way too many White Russians would love even one hot wing. But like, man, when you overload, when the two wolves inside of you are hot wings and
it's not good.
And White Russians, and they're just doing battle, and like you run up against those people. I think that's like, for me, this is the energy I'm going to take from this into this next week, is like to have empathy and understanding when you come up against that block, but also like maybe just like let it be, you know?
Yeah.
Like
know that it is a different experience than your barometer for nightmare.
Yeah.
You know? And let it play out and support, you know?
Yeah. Like almost like a step back of like, okay, let's let you might be like, because what if John is just slowly summoning the energy to get that cup to his lips?
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, he can start cranking again.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the person who fucks that up, right? You don't want to be the like thing that you don't want to be the wrench in those slowly moving gears of someone else's barely functioning reality.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's different speeds for sure. For all we know, this could be John's everyday morning.
God.
This could be how John wakes up every day in those candy cane friggin' Waldo ass pajamas.
I mean, we've been led to believe, you know, that this is the norm, right? If nothing else.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garfield is
especially
surprised,
in 1999, usually having a problem. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, is Garfield surprised or is he getting knocked back to reality, right? It's the cleansing ritual from the nightmare of is like, whoa. Like it's
Sure.
that like the like mind wipe of like I'm having a bad day. And then you just see somebody who's having a fucking way worse time. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Maybe things are cool. Can I help you? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Or like, I mean, here the energy is like, I think you need space. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you have. I'm gonna let you have some space. I'm gonna let you have some time. I'm gonna
I'll
let
be
you
right
do your
over here
thing.
if you need me. Just
Yep, for
ask.
sure. For sure. For sure. Hell yeah, man. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. I have a couple friends watching live. Thank you for being
Whew.
here. If you're
Yeah, thanks
watching
for hopping
later,
on.
thanks. We're gonna try to. We're working on some sort of schedule that allows us to stream. You know.
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
There'll be more Garfield accoutrement in the video.
for
You know,
sure.
it's gonna be. I think it'll be fun. I think it's gonna be a really fun time.
All right. Well, let's see. Until next week.
Oh,
Uh, hmm. Uh, heat up your coffee.
um,
Give others space.
lasagna
Lasagna
stay. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Let it play out. Love it.
Let it be, baby.
Oh yeah.